I liked the INTP so much that we made a cute little baby. And my little baby is sleeping right now, so I decided to make an updated video on why the INTP and the INFJ are a golden pair. And since last year, if you haven't seen the last video from about a year and a half ago, I'll link it somewhere. Yeah, since last year, I've delved more into the world of Myers-Briggs type indicator and 16 personalities through books. I've learned a little more from the John B. depth typology model, and also looked into the socionics, which basically all of them kind of have their own spin on like the functions. And I think once you get into the functions is where you can kind of really see the beauty of this model, because each function kind of has a desire and a purpose. And so yeah, I'm going to try to the best of my ability without getting too technical, and I'll try to explain the functions in the INFJ and the INTP and how they complement each other and draw each other together. So just a little recap. The INFJ personality type is known as the counselor or the advocate, and they tend to be kind of really oriented toward people. They probably like taking on people as projects, versus the INTP is definitely a more technical personality. They like to take the world on as a project, and they know a lot more about the things that matter in the world than the INFJ. But why these two can make a good combo is because they can grow a lot from each other. So the first reason is because the INFJ loves to learn from the INTP on how to think better. So the INFJ has in their third function, which is known as the child function, the same as what the INTP has in their first dominant function, which is known as the hero function. So for these two types, that's introverted thinking. And what that means is they like to reason with each other, but the INTP has way better reasoning skills than the INFJ. So the INFJ can appreciate that reasoning from the INTP. Oh, also a quick aside, this is a theory that I have, but basically these two types, they share decision-making functions, which is their introverted thinking and extroverted feeling, which is the one I'll talk about next. But they differ when it comes to their perceiving functions, which is how they take in information. And I'll talk about that afterwards, and how these similarities allow for compatibility, and the differences kind of drives relational chemistry, because it is different enough that they kind of complement, but when it comes down to making decisions, both kind of can understand each other pretty well on why they decided on something. So secondly, the INTP likes that the INFJ is a people person, or can be a people person. And that's because the INTP has in their fourth function extroverted feeling, which the INFJ has in their second function. According to John Beeb's model, what a person has in their fourth function, or what a type has in their fourth function, is what they're attracted to. So that means that the INTP is attracted to extroverted feelings in others. The INTP likes when others are kind, open, social, warm, and the INFJ is able to do this naturally. Doesn't mean they always are, but they're able to do that. I think both because they're more introverted types can be a little awkward, but the INFJ is like a little less awkward, and I think the INTP kind of appreciates that. I think as the INFJ, they like that the INTP is widely liked by people because they can be really polite. The INTP has sometimes been coined the term the warmest robot, and I think that's pretty true. The INTPs come off really genuine, really cute. Okay, my little baby woke up, so now he's just on the mat next to me. Sorry, he's so cute. Maybe I'll take a quick video. What are you looking at? his favorite thing is this fan. Apparently, babies just really love fans. But yeah, we have this little setup. He's so cute. And then I'm right here. So, anyways, I kind of forgot which one I was at, but for the perceiving functions, the first difference is that the INFJ has introverted intuition as their dominant function, and the INTP has extroverted intuition as their parent function, so their second function. And how I like to explain this is that most of the world is sensor types. So 70% of the world to 75% of the world, they are dominant types with either introverted sensing or extroverted sensing, and this leads to intuitive types, so any of the N types, to be a minority in the population. And because of that, when they meet another intuitive type, there is usually like a little understanding of each other. Introverted intuition and extroverted intuition, when two types have those, they can cause this kind of beautiful compatibility, because introverted intuition is taking a lot of information and distilling it down to like something single, versus extroverted intuition likes to take something and expand upon it. So you could kind of think of these two as building on and off of each other. I think another thing that the INFJ likes in the INTP is because they have extroverted intuition as their one of their dominant functions, they're able to accumulate so much knowledge. Like, I think INTPs are quite knowledgeable about the world in so many different aspects. For example, my boyfriend just loves to buy books. Both of me and him, we love books. Before we had a baby, we would literally read every morning for like an hour, or like every night, sometimes twice a day. One time I read in a forum that INTPs and INFJs, how they end up as a couple is that they'd be the couple that likes to read together, and I completely felt that. And oh my god, my baby. Okay, sorry if you hear little baby sounds, but he just likes to be held. And okay, so the other differences in the INTP and the INFJ is in their other perceiving functions, which are their sensing functions. So the INTP, they have introverted sensing as their third/child function, which means that the INTP likes comfort. They are really stable, quite responsible. You can kind of know what to expect with an INTP, and for the INFJ, they actually have that function as their very last of the 8 functions, which is why they can balance each other out. The INTP brings a lot of stability and responsibility into the picture, versus the INFJ, because they have extroverted sensing as their 4th or inferior function. They can bring variability. They're a bit more wild, but that can kind of keep things fun. Okay, I think my baby is hungry, so I'm going to try to wrap this up as soon as possible. The last couple points about why they're a good match is because their subconscious functions are complemented by the others. So, for example, in socionics, the INTP and the INFJ relationship are known as benefactor-beneficiary, and that's because the INTP's critic function is the INFJ's dominant function. And for the INFJ, their critic function is actually introverted feeling. So the INFJ tends to suppress their feelings, doesn't want them to be true, doesn't want to accept them. With the INTP, they're able to kind of be themselves without judgment. And even though the INTP doesn't have introverted feeling, they do have extroverted feeling as a conscious function. And what this means in this relationship is that okay, so the extroverted functions, they like to serve the introverted functions. So you could think of this for all, but basically that extroverted feeling in each other, in both the INTP and INFJ. But the INTP, they don't have feelings that are like out of whack. But the INFJ kind of does sometimes, And the INTP is really welcoming and warm and just so kind. I really, really think this is a great combo. Because of this natural acceptance of each other. And lastly, the INFJ, they're definitely balanced by the extroverted intuition of the INTP, because for the INFJ, since that's a subconscious function, they tend to be really good at generating why things can go wrong, like more pessimistic. But for the INTP, they're very optimistic. So them as a couple, it just works. I don't know. You have to try it out for yourself. If you're an INTP, I hope you find an INFJ. And if you're an INFJ, I hope you give an INTP a chance. Just kidding. But okay, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to comment what you think and like, subscribe. I'll try to make more videos, but it will be with baby. Bye.